Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and this is how to use Drifblim in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Now, I was thinking, is the video even necessary? There's only one Drifblim moveset, and if you know, you know. And if you don't know, then where have you been for the last 14 years? And if the moveset offends you because you're a Smogon baby, then why are you even here in the first place? So, I don't know, I was thinking we're just going to show it off, we're going to talk about it, and maybe someone learned something about Pokemon. So let's start off with the Unburden ability. Like, I was going to say this is a key part to the Drifblim, but not everything about the Drifblim is what makes it busted, and we're going to learn why. So speed is doubled on held item loss or usage. Boost is loss of switch, something something item ability. Pretty much all you need to know is that when you consume the Citrus Berry, which is very easy to activate, especially on a tank Pokemon, you're now double the speed. Nice. So let's see where this goes. Max defense, max special defense, go for the bold nature. I know that for the most part you want to be putting the nature into the highest stat, that way you're not wasting those extra points, but no, Drifblim needs all the defense it can get since most of the attacks it's going to be facing are physical, and it really helps out against super effective or really strong neutral hits. Now you might be thinking, wait, aren't you supposed to like go max hit points and like split it or do something because it's a tank Pokemon so you always invest in hit points? No. This is where we just look at how the returns go. We're going from 70 to 105. That is a 50% increase in Drifblim's defensiveness. Now if we go from this to this, that's 15% less. So we are getting much less durability than just going with the defense, and then same thing for special defense. Also, even when we do something like this for a full defensive tank Drifblim, you're actually not getting a lot out of it. So let's do that. Let's go and check the damage calculations, where we can see we survive Crunch from an Adamant max attack Tyranitar. Now the Stone Edge is messy because 20% chance to miss, also 20% chance to OHKO, puts us at like a 35% survival chance when we have no right being in this situation to begin with. And it also kind of brings out a weird thing about Tyranitar. Tyranitar once put enough speed EVs to speed creep the 80 speeds, maybe 81 because of Gyarados, and then, actually no, you don't outspeed creep the Gyarados because it's always speed investing. So yeah, just the uninvested 80 speeds, which is probably only Drifblim, but you do that or else it's spooky. Then whatever hit points, game's weird. So shenanigans going down right here, but if we look right here, so Stone Edge goes from 115 to 101. Like, the amount of value that you get out of putting anything to hit points just is not there, whereas the difference between that is massive, and these numbers shouldn't surprise you because we just talked about them, but people need visualization sometimes. We shouldn't be surviving this. We shouldn't be surviving a beneficial nature stab 134 super effective hit, but we do because we're Drifblim, and depending on how the rest of the game goes, it's really nice for us. So after that, we start building the moveset, and this is where, actually no, before we do that, I think I've been running Drifblim wrong the entire time because I just go, ha, memes. But I've never respected the Unburden into 130 speed Pokemon in modern Pokemon, so like maybe I'd put the speed EV back in Gen something, I don't know. Because level 50 makes things get all weird, because now we're looking at a 200 on the 130, Timid Nature, etc. So when we double this, we want to make sure we're not speed tying, and we're actually just winning. And as we talked about, that one hit point isn't going to matter on the Drifblim. Wait, let's go here. What does this do for the Stone Edge? Nothing. Like, yeah, I think it's literally 1 damage. But so yeah, 1 speed and then defenses, and then your Drifblim's pretty nasty. So let's get into the moveset. What makes Drifblim so nasty? Well, we can start off with a minimize. Like, minimize baton pass. That's what it does. Drifblim can baton pass minimize. Drifblim can gift an ungodly amount of evasion into any Pokemon for free very safely. But to make sure we are going through with the setup, we got Stockpile. So the rotation for Drifblim is you get outsped, you take a hit, you use Stockpile, the hit probably dropped you below 50%, so now you're tankier, you get 25% of your health back, and Unburden pops, and now you're faster than the opposing Pokemon. And then you can do whatever you want. Like, okay, we already know that we survive a hit, so if we survive a Stockpile hit, we're just healthier. Or we can, so like, we just minimize at that point. Like, we don't need the second Stockpile yet. So you go Stockpile, minimize, kind of scout out the opponent, maybe minimize again. Like, if the first minimize leads to a miss, you minimize again. If you get hit, you stockpile. That way you bulk out the next move, and then minimize X, whatever, do whatever, baton pass. Sometimes you don't want to take, like timer might come into play, especially with the 20-minute clock on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. So I don't know where the limitations are, but ideally you go 3 stockpiles, 3 minimize, baton pass, takes a lot of time, but you can reliably do that on Drifblim because it's one of the most busted Pokemon ever. The other things that break down, like, yeah, sometimes, even if it's a 1 stockpile, baton pass it into something. That Pokemon's now a lot stronger than it has any right to be. 1 stockpile, 1 minimize. Imagine fighting a Garchomp with 50% more defenses, and then a 25, no, actually, minimize is 1 in 3. A 30% chance to miss. But we haven't even gotten to the best part, because this is how Drifblim worked in Gen 4. Now, I would do something either meme, like the Ominous Wind, which is illegal in Gen 8 now. Oh, that's right, it got, like, straight up removed. Just one of the yeeted deleted moves, right? I would do that because it'd be just hilarious to me if that went off and I had a free turn or something. Also, the Destiny Bond. Weird situations where it's like, well, something goes horribly wrong, so you just trade 1 for 1, or Drifblim comes in the late game, and then you just trade it off against a slower Pokemon that doesn't understand, like, that doesn't even comprehend that Drifblim could be running Destiny Bond after it tries to do this to you. Like, their plan is like, oh, I need to kill it before it sets up again. Then you just trade 1 for 1 on annoying Pokemon. But we are in the modern era of Pokemon, and I have no idea, like, I don't know what gave Strength Sap to Drifblim in Gen 8, but I'm happy because now, like, that just made Drifblim incredible. And now it's in Gen 4 meta. So Drifblim went from already the best Pokemon in Gen 4 meta to somehow incredibly better. Like, this isn't just a nice quality of life buff. This completely breaks the Pokemon, and it was already disgusting to begin with. Because now, stockpile, Citrus Berry, Shenanigans, minimize Strength Sap. So, like, you don't have to go into the second stockpile, you Strength Sap, you now have them dealing less damage to you. And the cool thing about Pokemon is that the way the damage calculation works, if you have +1 defense and they have -1 attack, you're actually receiving less damage than if you had +2 defense or if they had -2 attack. So the 1/1 is actually making you tankier. So just more effective stats right here. So yeah, like, stockpile, minimize, Strength Sap. Well, now they're not doing any damage. You're back to full. Minimize, stockpile, Strength Sap, minimize, stockpile, baton pass. And, like, that's just guaranteed almost. So you can eat whatever, and that's, like, where the numbers on the Tyranitar get weird. It's like, survive the crunch. So yeah, like, you go survive this crunch, stockpile, Unburden makes you faster. You have the Citrus Berry, but that doesn't really, like, the Citrus Berry doesn't do anything but pop Unburden at that point. So you go Strength Sap. So now we're talking about a +1 going against a -1. Now it's a 3-hit KO. So after the Strength Sap, again, you evasion. And then you can go for another minimize. Now, this is also where it starts getting weird because then, like, you're healing less. And then the numbers get weird. So actually, maybe you don't go for the second minimize, you go for the second stockpile. And then you kind of, like, offset their diminishing healing with your buffed defenses. And then, again, now they're going -2. You just set up. Like, against the Tyranitar, you just set up. And if the Stone Edge has something weird happen, like it doesn't KO you or it misses because it's unreliable, then, again, you just get to completely run away with the battle. So, Drifblim be pretty awesome like that. You can also mix it up and just kind of show, like, what is a Garchomp going to do? And what if it's, like, Scarf Chomp is just free. Like, you just eat Scarf Chomp's lunch. Jolly. And then it's throwing an Outrage. And then it's not even doing 2/3 of your health. So, again, that's when you can, like, you have to be smarter about it because you're not unburdening faster than the Scarf Chomp. And that's what I mean. Like, now you just have more options. Because it used to be, you would go stockpile, and now you're just doing less damage, and then the Citrus Berry kind of carries it, and then you just wait for, like, Garchomp to get confused in Shenanigans. But now it's like, you just lead Strength Sap. So it's like, that first Outrage means nothing, and then does less. And then now you can, like, safely eat that hit, stockpile, eat that hit, Strength Sap, minimize something. Like, you eventually just get a feel for it when you're playing, like, tank setup and tank Pokemon. So yeah, Garchomp, Scarf Chomps, whatever. If it's a Life Orb Garchomp, the big hit, let's see. I'm trying to like look for Scarf Chomp, or not Scarf Chomp, Life Orb set. Also, I realized that this was off screen, my bad. So yeah, like that's the -1, that's the +0, and then that's like the 0/0. It's like boom. So yeah, not even 2/3. And if you like get the switch in predict, like also, if Garchomp is scarfed into an Earthquake, sack off whatever Pokemon you want, because then you just bring in Drifblim, and then you can set up because Garchomp's forced to switch, and then Drifblim is already starting off +1, and I think it wins every matchup in the game at that point. So yeah, it's pretty nasty. And yeah, there's the Life Orb damage. I mean, it's plus 30%. We all knew that it wouldn't be enough, and then you get the outspeed afterwards, and Garchomp loses hard, because then, okay, we have our +1. It is kind of weird when the Citrus Berry doesn't matter, but again, it's mostly like the easy vessel for popping Unburden, and then it helps out against like not the most aggressive Pokemon in the game. So we're comparing this to Garchomp, and we're comparing this to Tyranitar. So after that, then it's like, okay, Strength sapped, and that's your Life Orb. And how Garchomp is actually KOing itself to the Life Orb. That's just how Drifblim wins it. So you get this set up. Where do you put it? I personally put it into a Snorlax, and that's what made me the best battler in Generation 4. But what if you want to get fancy with it? And we'll talk about that on like the Snorlax moveset. You know, we already, again, if you know, you know. So we're not going to fill the video with that. Like, what happens if you put it into the Tyranitar? I've already been talking about Tyranitar this video. Dragon Dance Tyranitar is nasty. So yeah, we do our little shenanigans here, you know, whatever on the speed, and then you double it, and then it's strong after 2 Dragon Dances. So that's pretty cool. The attack, weird attack, EVs on the level 50 Adamant. I don't know. And then hit points because we're going to be getting extra defenses. Like, how do you break that? How do you stop this Tyranitar? You do not stop this Tyranitar. That's the thing about it. And you know what'd be even funnier? If you have, like, Unnerve, so you can't Yache Berry your Ice Fang, because why? Like, Sandstream gives you the bonus special defense, and it's probably usable just in case something goes wrong with the Drifblim. But, outside of that, it's like, yeah, this could actually be a funny way of using Unnerve. And Sandstream can screw over your team in some situations if it just sets up and then you're, like, hurting yourself and breaking sashes or stopping Moonlight or Morning Sun healing. So, I mean, like, Unnerve Tyrants are technically viable because, like, you're just here for the stats and the shenanigans. If you go up against not special Pokemon, you're not feeling these Sand boost anyways. But, like, you do this. Lumberry, so that way you guarantee your setup, and then you can go max attack, Adamant Nature safely, and... Okay, so Garchomp that has +1 defense, +2 evasion. What are you going to do to it? What are you going to do against the Tyranitar that has +2 defenses, +2 evasion? It's going to get 2 Dragon Dances, and it's going to outspeed and one-shot every Pokemon on your team. And it's not going to care. So we got that, and then I like this because do you need Stone Edge? No. Do you need Rock Slide? Crunches more damage, and I think hits more things. Earthquake gives you that coverage anyways, and then Ice Fang is going to wreck the flying types for you, and also covers on the 4x weaknesses. So yeah, you can do that. Like it's Drift. Imagine any Pokemon on your team that wants plus defenses plus evasion. Done. Like, and then going up against a minus attack Pokemon because of the Strength Sap. The opportunities are limitless. The opportunities also get hilarious. So Regigigas got buffed. Now it's Gen 4 Regigigas with Protect. That feels really cool to me. But you don't need Protect on this one because, again, it's a Regigigas. Higher than legendary stat Pokemon. 110 hit points, 110 defenses. Just max that stuff out, and then, like, okay, now it's Regigigas +2 defense, +2 evasion. You can't stop it. That's why I think the rest is funny. Not even Chesto Resto. You rest through your slow start. You knock off their strong item, you Drain Punch that health back, and then you rest until your slow start's over. And that's also why, like, now you have leftovers, and all that's just value. It's crazy. And then, like, you're just running max attack. So 160 attack Crush Grip. That's a 120 power move against a full health target. And that's why I like it. You go Crush Grip, Drain Punch. Like, you just combo that. And then the Pokemon's over. And if it might be a threat, you knock off whatever item it has. And mostly the knockoff's there for, like, the rest setup and then getting over the slow start. Once you're over the slow start, Crunch, KO, a little bit of health from leftovers, and then you're fine. And if things ever get really bad, you just rest, and then you're unkillable because you got the double defenses, and they might miss a move while you're asleep. Or, could be even better, +6 evasion, +1 or 2 defenses. You win! Welcome to the game. Now, I have said that this is the only viable moveset. some idiot out there is going to be like, what about Flare Boost or Unburden or all these other things it can do? Nah, because like, here's maybe best case scenario. You go Calm Mind, Patea Berry, because at this point, like, you're not going for the Citrus Berry setup. You're just trying to get as many stats as fast as possible. And if you're not stockpiling, then I don't know where the Citrus Berry might convert some 2-hit KOs into 3-hit KOs, but not super reliably, and you're Calm Minding. So I mean, like, my thought is Calm Mind, take the big hit, Patea Berry. Now you're at like +2, +1 shenanigans. This could technically be anything. Like, if this is Strength Sap, you have Synergy, and then that's also where the Citrus comes in. So it's like, okay, then this is how you want to run it, but I'd like to preserve those stats. Like, I'd like to put that special attack, special defense somewhere when this moveset inevitably goes wrong. Or if, like, you have a different kind of berry idea going on. But I mean, like this, Calm Mind, take the hit, Citrus Berry, Unburden, Strength Sap, they can't hurt you, Calm Mind, Shadow Ball. Oh man, the +3, +2, 90 special Shadow Ball from the modest Drifblim. We got the 212 here. I don't even remember what I calced it for. I think that's Scarf Chomp. And then, like, you just go for it, guys. So what happens when you go for it? Nothing. +3, modest Shadow Ball. Not a one-hit KO against Garchomp. And the Patea Bear is like 1 Calm Mind, and then Patea activates, so you're at +2. Nice. Those numbers just look awful. Like, how does 72 only go up to 90 to 107 at the +2 to +3? Well, that's just it. Like, that's why it's a waste. Why? And that's why I mean, like, it's inevitably going to go wrong, so you might as well just give those stats to another Pokemon. But I mean, there's just better Calm Mind Baton Passers out there. So, I don't know. And then, like, Thunderbolt for coverage, but why? Will-O-Wisp, effectively, like, why Will-O-Wisp when Strength Sap exists? Because even though Will-O-Wisp cuts in half and Strength Sap isn't that effective because it's only a third cut, like, you'll get there, and then you heal, and then you're fine, and then you're stacking Calm Mind, and I don't know, like, don't do it. That's the delete button, because there is one true Drifblim, and I have a clause. I should have said this earlier on in the video. If you're ever going to battle me, you do not bring my Drifblim against me. That is just unsporting, disrespectful, and no one wants to exist in that world. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.